Hello my friends, it's Lisa and welcome to a new weekly reading vlog. So this is like the second full week that we're entering of April, the second full week of the magical readathon. We're gonna reach that like halfway point through the month, so I'm hoping to get a lot of reading done. I want to get like at least halfway through my TBR, which I think I'll be able to do. I'm currently on book 3 of 7, so I'm making good progress. I'm currently reading Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa, and I'm gonna have all of my like previous vlogs for this readathon linked below, and because in like my last week's vlog I kind of gave a lot more in-depth thoughts about what I was feeling about this book so far. But basically I'm feeling very meh about it. There's things I like, there's things I don't like, and there's things I kind of feel like I have mixed feelings about. So I'm gonna see how I feel by the end. Sometimes the ending of books really pick up, so we'll see. I'm pretty close to finishing it. I'm hoping to finish it like either today or tomorrow. But that is the book that I'm currently reading for the readathon, and once I finish that, then that will be my third book done. And I'm just kind of excited to move on and read something else, which isn't a very good sign, but I'm hoping to finish that soon. So yeah, I just wanted to intro this vlog, let you know what I was starting the week off reading, and we'll see what happens because this weekend is Easter and I think me and my family are getting together to celebrate on Saturday. So we'll see how much reading happens this week, but I'm hoping to get at least like halfway through my TBR for the readathon and yeah, do a lot of reading. That's the plan. We'll see if it happens. Okay, I earlier today reacted to the season 4 trailer of Stranger Things, and I realized if I put that in here, it is going to spoil seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Stranger Things. So if you either just don't care about me reacting to the trailer or you don't want to be spoiled for the show, which you don't want to be if you haven't watched it yet, because I highly recommend watching the show. But if you don't want to be spoiled or just don't care about my trailer reaction, I will put a timestamp on the screen and potentially in the description on where you can skip to avoid the Stranger Things trailer and all of that, because I don't want to accidentally spoil anyone for the show. Even though, you know, the seasons have been out for many years, I want people, if you want to still watch the show, to just be able to enjoy it. So that is there. But if you are continuing to watch, enjoy my reaction, because I'm still overwhelmed and it's been like 4 or 5 hours since I've watched the trailer, so I'm fine. Okay, we're stopping everything right now to watch the new Stranger Things season 4 trailer. I'm stressed. I don't even want to play. Like, I'm so excited because it's like my favorite show, but I'm also so stressed about what's going to happen this season. I am convinced, because so many other people are convinced, that Steve is not gonna make it, and I can't handle that. They can't do that to me. Do you know? I don't even know what would happen to me if that happened. Well, okay, let's just watch the trailer. Let's calm down. Okay, it's 3 minutes and 16 seconds. How long until I start crying? Place your bets now. Oh god. This is scary. Ooh. Jump scare. Oh. Why? Why?
Disaster. For a while, we tried to be happy.
Oh my god. Do I have any theories? No. P-brain can't work that hard. Oh my god, I'm so stressed.
See you on the other side. On the other side.
10 out of 10. Oh. What was that? Too much is happening right now. What is that? I have like theories, but I also just got so overwhelmed. There was too much happening. There was like a moment where there was a lot of things being flashed. Is that Steve? Who am I looking at right now? Why is Max floating in the air? What is going on there? Why is Max floating in the air? Who are all these people? What's going on? What's this monster? Is it who I think it is? Is it a person that we know? Is it just a monster? I just talked way too fast. I don't even know what to do with myself. Am I just supposed to go about my day now? I need someone to analyze frame by frame what this all means. And I'm sure there are so many people doing that, but this pea brain can't do it. I just get overwhelmed. Okay, I have a few reading updates because I've actually finished a couple of prompts now. I yesterday, like early evening, finished reading Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa, and I ended up rating this at 3 stars. I think I was kind of figuring out, like, throughout the book, it kind of started at maybe like a 2.5 star, and kind of throughout it, it started to kind of go up a little bit, and I didn't think it should have been higher than a 3 because I wasn't loving the beginning, but I did like that last, like, third of the book, so I decided on a 3. So yeah, like, the last third of the book, like part 3 of the book, I enjoyed a lot more than like the rest of the book, I think. I think there were just a few different things that kind of came into play that I enjoyed. There were a few things from the beginning that kind of circled back to the end that I really liked. I liked the way certain things connected. And also one of my like favorite like tropes or just like things that happen in books is when characters have to like have this secret identity or pretend that they're someone they're not to like sneak into some place to get like information or like get something, but it's mainly the fact that they're like pretending like the secret identity that they have to have. I just think those situations are always such like high stakes because you know something's gonna go wrong, and that does happen in this book, so I really liked that as well. Like once that started to get introduced, I was like, oh, I see. Also, there was a bit of a twist or like a thing that happened kind of at the end of the book that I just wasn't expecting, or if I was anticipating that it was going to happen, I think I wasn't prepared for it to happen in this first book because this is a trilogy. I think it's something that I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but like there's something that is kind of repeated throughout the book, and I was like, okay, like so this must happen maybe at some point. I just wasn't prepared for it to happen like at the end of the first book, so it's almost like intriguing enough for me to want to continue on. But like I was kind of saying in last week's vlog and in this week's vlog, like I definitely wasn't like obsessed with this book. I was not really into it at the beginning, and it took me like a while to feel like somewhat invested. It took until like the third part of this book for me to like actually be somewhat enjoying it. So I don't know if I'm going to continue on with the series. I'd love to know if you've read the series, what you think. I have like looked on Goodreads at some people who have read the first and the second one, and it feels like everyone rates the second one lower than they rated the first one. So it's not super promising, but I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So yeah, I ended up giving it 3 stars. I thought it was very fine. I definitely was enjoying it more towards the end, but I still wasn't super into it for a majority of the book. So I think a 3-star makes sense, and I might, you know, change it depending on how I feel like later on. Sometimes I rate books a little too quickly, and once I have some time to like think about it, I change my rating, but I think a 3-star as of right now makes sense. And then also last night while chatting with Darian, she was doing some reading, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll read too. So I ended up picking up A Spark Within the Forge by Sabaa Tahir. This is an Ember in the Ashes graphic novel, and I ended up giving this 4 stars. I did really like it. I had a good time. I love an Ember in the Ashes so much, so it was fun to be back with these characters. So this particular graphic novel is following Laya and her brother Darin, and I don't want to say too much because I don't want to potentially spoil like the main series, but we're definitely starting to see some things begin in this book that become bigger things in the main series. So I thought that that was quite cool to see. And I also do love like the art style and everything in here. There's a few panels that were just so stunning, and there's one actually at the beginning that I really like. Yep, this one. I just think is so stunning. I just love the colors. I love the kind of color palette throughout the whole graphic novel. But yeah, I really did enjoy this. I think I gave the first one like a 4 or 4.5 too. I obviously like prefer the main series, but I think these are such a fun addition to the series. You get a little bit more from the characters. You see them kind of before the events of the main series, and I think if you enjoyed the Amber and the Ashes like series, like normal book series, I don't see why you wouldn't enjoy these. So yeah, happy I read this, and it's only just made me want to pick up Amber and the Ashes and reread the whole series right now, which I probably shouldn't do, but I really want to. And also, like, Darian has been reading the series, like finishing the series recently. She read the last 2 over the past like couple of months, and her reading them has made me want to pick them up, and it's gonna happen at some point this year. I'm not gonna be able to make it, I think, throughout this whole year without doing a reread of at least one of the books in the series, but I would love to reread the whole thing. But yeah, finished this, and let me quickly check which prompts these were completing. I know Shadow of the Fox was completing the Demonology class, and the prompt for that was to read a book with Shadow in the title, and the class that this completed was Animal Studies, and that was to read a quick read, and I think this only took me like an hour and a half to read, and that was like with chatting with Darian in between. So definitely a quick read, definitely did that. So now I have completed 4 of the 7 classes that I need to, and now I have 3 classes left. I have 3 books left, and I only really have, I feel like, one option. I guess I technically have 2, but I have the Tea Dragon Festival by Kay O'Neill, which is another graphic novel, and I don't want to read that quite yet because I want to wait in between like other books. Like, I don't want to read 2 graphic novels back to back. I like to kind of space them out, so I don't want to read that. And then my other book is Pachinko by Min Jin Lee, and that is a buddy read with Darian and Casey, and I don't think either of them are ready to read it. I mean, I definitely know Darian is not ready to read it yet, so that probably will be like one of my last reads of the month. So I really only have one option. Let me go and get it. So my last option on my TBR is Clockwork Angel by Xange Claire, and I think this is what I have to go with because Pachinko's not happening. Want to wait on Tea Dragon Festival, so it is time. And I'm so excited. I happen to love the Infernal Devices. I think this is going to be my 4th time reading this particular book, so I'm very excited. It's gonna be a great time. And also, if you have read The Infernal Devices and you love Jem, please come to the live shows because I'm gonna need help defending him to Darian and Casey. Thanks! But yeah, this is gonna be my next read, and if you want any information on the Shadowhunters read along, I'll have my video where I like talk about what books we're reading when linked below. I also plan on making a playlist of all of the live show discussions that we have, so you can watch all of them in one place. And so I'll do that and link that down below as well. But yeah, I just wanted to talk through my thoughts, give an update on what I was planning on reading next, but also I do want to briefly talk about the Heartstopper trailer.
You're over there. Mr. Nicholas Nelson. Hey. Just another silly... Hi.
They're really good at saying hi.
Change.
Ugh.
Just miss how things used to be.
It's so cute.
That is fine too.
There's so many scenes from the graphic novel. Ugh, back with the highs. I'm so excited. I feel like Netflix is like directly attacking me by putting the Stranger Things trailer and the Heartstopper trailer out literally back to back. I'm still processing the Stranger Things trailer. How am I supposed to watch the Heartstopper one and be okay? But yeah, I'm so excited. We're getting the show. It's so soon. It's coming out next Friday, so I'm super excited. It looks like there's so many scenes like directly from the graphic novels, so I'm just so excited. It looks so cute. I love like all the characters and just seeing all of them like come to life. It's just so exciting. So yeah, definitely feeling overwhelmed over here between Stranger Things and Heartstopper, but I'll be okay. Maybe, eventually. Probably not, but it's fine. Hello friends, happy Friday. So today I'm actually doing the cleaning that I said I was going to do last Friday. I'm going to do some of my laundry and just like declutter and clean and put clothes away and all of that. I was cleaning already a little bit this morning, early afternoon, took a break to shower, but now I'm going to get back into it. I have a little treat because I simply cannot do a task without giving myself a little treat. I have a iced peach green tea lemonade from Starbucks, and it is delicious, and it is my motivation and also my treat for actually doing the cleaning I've been meaning to do forever. Not forever, that makes it sound really bad, but a while. But I did want to give an update because I did start reading Clockwork Angel and I don't know where the book is. I found it. Okay. So I started reading this, I think, on Wednesday. So this is completing the class Astronomy, and the prompt for that is to read a book at the top of your TBR. So this was definitely at the top of my TBR because I was reading for the Shadowhunter read-along this month, which I've already mentioned like a million times. But yeah, this is the Shadowhunter read-along book for April. So I wanted to start this. This was the only book that I really had on my TBR for this month. So I started it. I'm on chapter 4, page 75. So I'm not super far in, but I'm already having the best time. I love these characters so much. Literally, page 1 started sobbing because Will was calling out to Jem, and it just makes me feel things. I think I've cried on page 1 every reread I've done for this book. Even though there are sometimes certain characters who irritate me or do things that bother me, I still love them. Like, I can't help it. Like, I just love them so much, and I just love Will and Jem and their like relationship as parabatai, and also like underrated characters, Charlotte and Henry. Can we get a round of applause for Charlotte and Henry? Because I love them. Henry in particular is just the softest man, and I love him. I love him. So yeah, started reading this, already having such a good time, and I'm not even 100 pages in, so maybe we'll potentially do some reading this weekend, but it is Easter weekend, so I think I'm celebrating Easter tomorrow with like my family, like my extended family, and then I don't know what we're doing Sunday, probably just keeping it very low-key, very chill. But yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty chill actually on Easter, but I know tomorrow is probably gonna be a bit more hectic, so we'll see how much reading I can get done. But I definitely want to try and do some reading this weekend because I'm just having such a great time rereading this book. But yeah, I wanted to give some updates because I have started my next read for this readathon, and obviously I'm loving it, having the best time. And now I'm going to start doing laundry and cleaning, which is not very fun, but it needs to happen. It needs to be done. It is now Monday. I'm going to wrap up this vlog here. I know I didn't vlog very much like at all this weekend. I basically on Friday, like you kind of saw, I just was basically cleaning, doing laundry all day. And then Saturday was when me and my family celebrated Easter because that's when everyone could kind of get together. So that's what we did on Saturday, and then yesterday, Sunday, was actually Easter, and it was like a super chill day. Me and my parents just hung out. My mom and I had mimosa flights, which was so great. And then we watched a couple movies. We watched Aladdin and 50 First Dates, and then we had leftovers, and then I went to sleep. It was not a very eventful day, so not a lot of vlogging, not a lot of reading. I did read a little bit yesterday. I was planning on having like a day of reading, but then we kind of watched movies instead, so that was what ended up happening. But I'm on chapter 6, which is page 127, so I read a little bit, but not much. So hopefully we'll be making up for that in this next coming week. But yeah, to recap, I managed to read 2 other things this week as well. I read The Shadow with Fox, I finished that, and then I also read A Spark Within the Forge, which is in my pile of books over there, and I don't want to get up and get it. And then read 126 pages of Clockwork Angel. So very happy with that. Definitely need to get going on some reading because now we only have like 2 weeks left of the readathon. So fingers crossed I can get everything read. But I think that's going to be it for this one. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in next week's vlog. Bye.